Tired of the everyday grind? Want to get away from it all?
Descent into paradise.
Florida.
Greetings, everybody, from sunny Florida. Here's wishing you the best of everything. And it's my personal belief that the best of everything comes from right down here.
Whoa. Hey, everybody. This is Steph from JustADayInParadise.com, and thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Just a Podcast in Paradise. Me and the Dip crew love living in the Sunshine State, and it's our goal to help you plan for your very own day in paradise. Follow along as we explore the Keys, theme park, springs, and everything in between. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so we can notify you when our new episodes are live. Also, be sure to follow the links in our show notes to dive even deeper into discussion and fun after the show. As you know, we're always going to have a drink with you, and today we're enjoying a cocktail inspired by tonight's Blockbuster episode, and I'm calling it Miami Movie Night. We're ready if you are, so kick up your feet, throw on your shades, grab a box of your favorite candy, and let's take a trip to paradise. Hi, Megan.
Hey.
Welcome to Blockbuster Night. Our Blockbuster Night. Me too. I thought we could spend a little time talking about Blockbuster. What are your favorite Blockbuster memories?
I mean, just being able to go there and browse.
Have you only been to Florida Blockbusters?
So, we were just talking about this earlier, but I love Sailor Moon. It was like my introduction to anime and Japanese culture, and it was just like a very big representation of my childhood.
Wait, you love Japanese culture? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Do you speak Japanese?
A little bit.
How do you say a little bit of Japanese in Japanese?
I actually don't know.
You should learn
I know
that.
how to say that I speak Japanese, but not
how do you
speak
say that?
a little Japanese. How do I say that? Nihongo hanasemasu.
Nihongo.
Nihon is how you say Japan in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, and that's how I first got introduced to Sailor Moon. Was actually
from
a Blockbuster.
Blockbuster?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
wow.
had like some movies and episodes on DVD, I guess it might have been VHS at the time. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And I saw it, and I just was very enthralled by it because it was very girly cartoon. Anyway, and here we are. So.
Yeah, all these years later, I can remember going into Blockbuster, and you would see, the movie that everybody wanted, because it would be like a wall of them. You know what I mean? It'd be like you'd see all the box covers.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were VHSs.
It was like the hot.
Yeah,
the
it was
hot
like
one.
the hot movie. Mm-hmm. And then what I really loved about Blockbusters was you could go in and it had the staff picks. You know what I mean? It would be Megan's favorite scary movie.
Huh.
You know?
I don't remember that.
There's that human touch that you just don't get anymore. Unless you tune into our show and we tell you about some Blockbuster movies.
And there would be obviously all the snacks and stuff as you go through the line to check out, and it just really watching a movie at home was such an experience. Now that we have streaming, we just watch movies casually all the time.
It's
not a big production where you settle in with your popcorn. It's not special anymore. I agree.
Yeah,
I still love movies and
but it's
TV,
not the same. It was an event. You go maybe go with your friends or your family. You pick out a couple movies. Maybe you'd only watch one of them.
Yep.
You had to rewind them, or you got a fee. Remember that, producer?
Be kind, rewind.
Yeah, we had a rewind machine that would rewind.
VHS?
No, because when you were rewind in a VHS player, it would be really slow. It was like a super fast rewinder, so you'd pop it in. It was and it was done. That was high tech.
Wow.
Yeah. So okay, if you were going into a Blockbuster right now, what would be your movie night candy?
I love Bunch of Crunch. It's always been my go-to.
I like sour candy. Sour Patch Kids I like.
To me, sour candy is not something you can just keep chomping on throughout the movie.
Disagree.
Ew.
And you can do it in all different ways. You could suck on it, you could chew on it. You could do 4 different flavors at once, one flavor at a time.
Sounds sickening.
Very versatile. Okay, so I wanted to talk about Blockbuster because we're going to talk about some Blockbuster movies. I looked at the top 10 states where movies are recorded or produced. Florida was not one of them. But Florida are some of the most memorable.
I believe that.
Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
I feel like it's because Florida is not easily accessible.
And I actually learned something else. a lot of movies say they take place in Florida, and it's not actually Florida.
It's California usually.
It's California or
me.
Georgia or Louisiana, because Florida stopped giving away tax incentives to shoot movies here. So you got to pay top dollar to come produce your film. But there's some really cool 90s movies, some early 2000 movies, and some classic movies that we found on our list. And thanks to our year-round sunshine and locales, Florida's made the perfect backdrop for some of those favorite movies. So today we're going to be popping some corn and reminiscing about some of the best movies that have ever been filmed in the Sunshine State. Are you ready, Megan?
I'm so ready.
Ready, producer? Ready, dogs? Let's do it. Looking for an out-of-the-ordinary vacation that won't break the bank? Want to travel to the Caribbean without a passport? Well, it's time to head down to Key West and visit the Keys Collection. A group of hotels nestled in Newtown and as colorful as Key West itself. The Keys Collection combines trusted brands, spirited bars and restaurants, and exceptional accommodations for a boutique vacation experience. Influenced by the laid-back attitude and local flair of this southernmost destination. We just stayed at the Gates Hotel and we fell in love. Handshaken mojitos at Rum Row made with our favorite Papa's Pilar rum, live music at the main stage, and luxury poolside cabanas where you can enjoy fresh seafood and tropical views. Check out thekeyscollection.com for more information and use code TAKEADIP for our special promo. And we're back. Just like that. Coming in real hot, like your favorite summer blockbuster. I realized we didn't tell our friends what we're drinking.
Please tell us.
I told them what they're called. So I got inspired for this cocktail because a lot of these movies take place in Miami. So I was thinking about something that looked like really Miami vibes. And I love key lime coladas. You know, like frozen. Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to make a frozen drink. So I thought about like a daiquiri. So this is like a key lime daiquiri. There's pineapple juice, key lime juice, cocoa, which is a key lime liqueur, and we made and infused our own vanilla vodka.
I thought it was KK.
It's
pronounced cocoa?
KK? Cocoa?
It's Keke. Why would it be pronounced
Oh, then it's
cocoa?
Kiki. Well, there's Coco Lopez, which is
okay.
like that coconut.
KK.
Yeah.
I think is what it is. KK.
KK. Maybe it's Kiki because it's key lime.
But it didn't have an accent on the E. I don't know anything
Who knows?
about anything.
Anyway, it's delicious. What do you think about the vodka that we made? Well, we didn't make the vodka. We infused it.
So I'm not like, there's too much going on for me to like give you feedback on your infused vodka. But overall, the cocktail is delicious. Mm-hmm. It's like, you would think it would be too sweet or too tart, and it's neither.
It's not.
It's great.
Yeah, it's very delicious, very refreshing, very summery, which is perfect. It would be perfect with popcorn, but we had Cuban sliders instead.
That was delightful. Yeah. Honestly, new movie night tradition.
Yeah, for sure. So Megan and I both did some research to find some movies that were filmed here. There was a few I knew, and then a few that I didn't know, and some fun facts too. So I figured we could just go back and forth.
Okay.
Do a little ping pong action. Do you want to do your favorite one first?
Like my favorite movie, or like my favorite?
Your favorite movie on the list that was filmed here. Let's do favorite.
Oh my goodness. I didn't expect to start with this one, but I will. It's a pretty recent one. And I don't know if it's on your list, but it's called The Florida Project.
It was not on my list, but people have talked about this movie. Isn't there like a Disney tie-in or something?
No, not exactly. It takes place in like Kissimmee, like Orlando area. So if you frequent those places like I certainly do, you'll recognize a lot of it. I think that's why I like it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of depressing, but it's very like authentic.
It sounded depressing.
Yeah, it's like about like a girl and her child that like live in a motel in that area. And it just feels very realistic. It's like a drama, and it's very familiar as someone who's grown up in Florida. I think that's what I like so much about it. And it's a side of Orlando that you probably aren't familiar with if you are just
visiting
a tourist to Florida. And it's a pretty recent movie. It's with Willem Dafoe, and it's a great film. And it's very like indie like vibes.
But
like
it received a lot of accolades.
It did, yeah, because I thought it was so real.
Mm-hmm. And you bring up a good point. I think people that first of all, a lot of people that come to Florida only ever see Orlando and like the small part of Orlando where the theme parks are. But first of all, Central Florida could be its own state.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's very like you got the springs. You have some parts that there are how do I put this? You're like, it feels like you're out in the middle of nowhere.
100%.
You know, like there's no, like sometimes when you're driving up there, especially at night, you're like, I could get run, you know, like I could go missing. You know what I mean? No one would ever see me again. They'd feed me the pigs. Yeah, the spots.
And not alligators,
you know
right? You think that she would say alligators, but that's not what Central Florida's about.
No, it's a lot of cows,
it would be the livestock.
a lot of pigs, and a lot of people that maybe don't like your kind in these parts, you know? I don't know. Depends on the kind you are. So I... What? I don't mean any particular kind. I just mean different folks don't like different kinds.
That kind, right?
Yeah. Insert your
the
kind.
Fourth kind.
Here. Right. Oh, don't get me started on that. That was not shot in Florida. Anyway, very scary movie. If we had an Alaska podcast, we could talk about the fourth kind. But anyway, this is one of my favorite movies of all time and my favorite movie on the list and part of the inspiration because there are so many cool locations in Miami that this movie features. And it's Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Yeah. Alrighty then. You remember that?
Iconic.
The tagline. Yes, iconic. So Ace Ventura takes place in and around Miami. I think this is one of those that probably every Floridian has ever seen, but I think it's kind of got more of a cult following. Like people that I've met that aren't from Florida aren't quite as familiar with it as I think that we are. So I don't know if that's a regional thing.
Really?
But yeah, but there's also a part that takes place in Collier County. That's where Finkel is from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Finkel
so
is
he drives
Einhorn.
across Alligator Alley to learn about Ray Finkel.
That's brand new
And Finkel
information.
is Einhorn.
Huh.
Einhorn is a man. Remember?
Yeah. That wouldn't be okay.
That would be very taboo. Now you have to like to kiss anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Einhorn is a transgender woman and she is beautiful.
And she's just living her truth. But I got some fun facts about Ace Ventura. So this is for all you 80s kids out there. Did you know that Jim Carrey was not the first person to be offered the role of Ace Ventura?
Wow.
And I quadruple fact check this. This seems like it's legitimate.
Did they decline the role of the other person?
They did.
Thank God. Who?
And want to guess? He was a beloved 80s film star. I'd say especially if you were a little kid, you were like, wow, I wish he was my dad. Dad, if you're listening, I'm glad that you're my dad, but... Rick Moranis!
Wow.
Yes!
Ew, honestly.
Yeah, Rick, Honey, I Shrunk the
Carrey's
Kids.
way hotter.
Well, I think it seemed like the role was going to be played a little bit differently by Rick Moranis. He was kind of going to be like a clumsy, like goofy kind of guy.
Not as like wacky.
Not as wacky and erotic as Jim Carrey played it.
And so we probably wouldn't have gotten When Nature Calls then, I feel like.
Right. Yeah, who knows?
And all of its
the franchise could have been a total dud. The director, his last name's Caddyshack, was worried that the movie he thought that by the end of it, that the movie was so bad that it would be the end of his and Jim Carrey's career. And really, that shot Jim Carrey into stardom.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you want to visit some of the famed locales, you can go catch a Dolphins game. A lot of that was shot at the stadium there.
Dan Marino.
Yep, Dan Marino, exactly. Also, the Vizcaya Museum and Gardens, which is the backdrop to a lot of famous Florida movies. You can see this scene. Remember the scene where he goes into like the party and he tries
100%.
to find the dolphin and it's actually like a shark or something?
Yes.
And it like pulls him all over the tank. That's in the Vizcaya Museum and Gardens. And then a later scene where he is, what do you call it? Like he's in the loony bin? You know, they're like trying to pretend like he's crazy and he's jumping over all the hedges. That's the outdoor gardens of Vizcaya.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Have you ever been?
No.
It's worth a visit.
Cool.
Maybe not in the summer because it's very big grounds. But it's beautiful. People get married there. Have private parties there. Also, speaking of Vizcaya, this is just a little aside, part of Iron Man 3 was filmed there in the gardens. There's like a fight scene with like columns and stuff. That's Vizcaya. Huh. Pretty cool. Yeah. Now you go. You do one.
Okay.
Try to beat that.
See, I didn't write too much about like specific scenes and where they were shot.
Okay.
I have so many. I don't
Just
know
very
which one to
passionate about Ace
choose.
Ventura.
Me too. I love Ace Ventura.
I want to
love
rewatch
Jim Carrey.
it.
I would
yeah.
love to. We should rewatch it.
I tried to get him on the show. I couldn't
I
find a direct way to reach out. He's kind of a big deal. Yeah, and I don't tweet.
I think he only wants to talk about like real.
That
these
makes
days.
sense.
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
He's
like, who's Ace Ventura?
right. Right.
He's like, what is time? Anyway. I'm gonna go with Magic Mike.
Oh yes, I've got Magic Mike on here.
So what I like about Magic Mike, one, it's in the
all right.
It's in the Tampa area.
Where does it take place?
In the Tampa area.
Okay.
And I like that because they shot in the Tampa area because it's like loosely based off of when Channing Tatum was an actual stripper in Tampa at 18 years old.
And you know about Tampa strip clubs. I don't know what the exact fact is, but it's like the most strip clubs per square mile anywhere in the United States.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me they were full nude. I thought that was the point.
Only the best ones are. I'm kidding. That's a
No,
joke.
she's not. Well, she is kidding because... Anyway.
Yeah, we've seen things.
You know what we saw.
We have to research for you guys, and yeah, don't go to Tootsie's.
Don't.
You can skip that one.
Drake
talks about it like it's a good time, but
listen, you guys at home, you and Drake are not the same.
you're not. You don't.
No matter what you think.
No, you're not. You don't want to see it. Anyway. This just in, the producer said actually Portland,
Oregon,
is the strip club capital of the world, which is ironic because it's so cold there.
You know, there's a Portland, Maine. That's why I wanted to make sure everyone.
Is this Okay, so it's Portland, Oregon.
Yeah,
okay,
I don't think they're
shout
in Maine.
shout out Portland strip clubs. All right. Anyway, Magic Mike.
Yep.
You know what about him?
What?
Channing Tatum. Are
Yeah.
you a fan?
I never really thought he was that hot. When
Okay.
Step Up was a thing, people were like shook by the man. I mean, he's fine. I mean, like not fine. He's fine. You know
right.
what I mean?
He's all right. There was that one movie that he was in with
21 Jump Street.
Yeah, that was
I do
pretty
like
good.
that one.
That was funny with Jonah Hill. Not in Florida,
That's
but
my
still
favorite,
funny.
probably.
Yeah. So we're looking up Tampa area strip club fun facts. So Tampa, for some reason, has a reputation thanks to its many clubs, but it is not in the top list in the country. There's about 20. Are located in the city. Okay, so the Tampa area has 40 strip clubs. That's a lot. Is that not a lot?
That seems like a lot.
It's crazy that that's not the most.
Ew, Portland. What are you guys doing?
Portland, you're sick. How do you sleep at night? But there is one famous strip club in Tampa. We just learned about this the other night. We were watching a documentary about murder.
Okay,
Murder. It's called Mons Venus.
I've heard this, but I don't know why.
Hundreds of thousands of visitors have visited these strip clubs. People, I guess, the Mons Venus is world famous.
For what? For strippers.
So there's this documentary on Netflix called The Girl in the Picture. If I give you the synopsis, it's going to give away too much. But if you like documentaries that are scathing and shocking, recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. And then you can get your fix on the Tampa area strip clubs. And if you want something maybe a little bit more tame, I guess you could do Magic Mike. I think I saw it.
I think I saw it too.
I don't remember it being too spicy.
No, I mean, it's men.
It's not for me.
So it wouldn't be that spicy to you.
Right.
You're like,
It didn't do it for me, but if it does it for you.
I don't think.
And Matthew McConaughey, who I'm a fan of.
Yeah, he's all right.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I like Joe Manganiello. I don't know. I might not be pronouncing that correctly,
Yeah.
but he's a very large Italian man, and he's pretty attractive.
Shout out to that guy. Okay, let's maybe stay in the Tampa area. One of my favorite films, not of all time, but it's a great movie for kids, and you can actually go. And it's like based on a true story. So Dolphin Tale. Have you ever seen Dolphin Tale?
I haven't.
About Winter the dolphin, who, may she rest in peace, just passed away recently, last year. We met her.
Is that the one with Harry Connick Jr.?
Yes, another guy that I am a fan of. That is an actor. Like that is also welcome to come on the show whenever he'd like.
We know he's a listener.
Yeah,
so.
he's an avid listener. Harry Connick Jr., Ashley Judd, based on the bottlenose dolphin Winter. Based on her story, she needed a prosthetic tail. They saved her from tragedy. And you can check out, when you're in the Tampa area, the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. It's worth a visit because it's not just an aquarium where you go and maybe the conditions for the animals are not optimal. Like, they're out there, they're saving animals, like local animals, and rehabilitating them, and they have an animal hospital. It's really cool. Highly recommend it. And it's not that expensive for an aquarium. Don't go to the Miami Seaquarium.
Why?
Because they're basically torturing their animals.
Why? In what way?
Because their tanks are way too small for them. They don't take good care of them. I mean, I think that we could have a whole episode about keeping animals in captivity, especially like large marine mammals. But what's the whale's name? Lola? Yeah. She's had a sad life.
Aquarium?
If you've seen Blackfin, which, I don't know your opinion on that. Some of it might be propaganda-y, but it's really sad, the life that she's had. So don't go there.
So
don't give those people your money.
Aquarium is like mostly about the money and not so much about like the rehabilitation. Like SeaWorld actually does.
Right. SeaWorld does a lot of work for both rehabilitation, education, and their conditions are much better. But yeah.
All right.
The end.
Moving on.
Womp womp.
I've got a lot more.
Me too.
Let's think. I would like to talk about Never Back Down. Have you ever heard of this movie?
Never. Isn't that the dance movie?
Nope.
What is it?
It's actually a fighting movie.
Dance fighting.
No dancing whatsoever.
Are you sure?
It's topical for me because it is the only thing actually, other than Aquaman, that I know Amber Heard from.
What?
Yeah. Amber Heard is in it.
Okay. And what
from
what sort of role does she play?
She's like, so the premise is like this guy like is like a fighter, and then he like has like an enemy in this guy, and like he like builds up to this fight. It's like really all I remember. And she's like the main character's like girlfriend, and she's like, oh my god, you know, like don't fight.
And that's Amber Heard.
Yeah. And it's shot in Orlando.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are you Team Amber or Team Johnny?
Is that even a question?
I don't know.
Who is Team Amber?
If you're Team Amber,
you like poop.
I want you to email me at savagejustoday@paradise.com and we will interview you. We will dedicate an entire episode to you. Disgusting. She pooped in the bed.
Right.
Oh.
You know, wait, can I just tap on another one of that?
Yeah.
Speaking of Johnny Depp, this one to me was the most surprising. Okay. Shot in Florida.
Okay.
Edward Scissorhands.
I know. I was shocked. What can you tell me about Edward Scissorhands?
They wanted like a bleak suburban area.
Right, which is weird because we're so sunny.
Right? I feel like we're a great time.
Yeah.
But they picked like Tampa Bay and Lakeland for that.
Tampa kind of makes sense, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Oh, it's great.
You haven't seen it, have you, producer? You have seen it. I love it. That's maybe one of my favorite roles of his. Wow. Besides Jack Sparrow's great.
He's an excellent actor. We have to give him that.
I mean, I went back after the Amber Heard trials, watched 3 of the Pirates films.
Oh, they're excellent.
I mean, the first one is like absolutely timeless. It's an incredible film, and you have obviously the Disney tie-in, but he carries the whole franchise. I heard he might be coming back. I Amber Heard that he might be coming back. I have one that was kind of obvious in hindsight, but did not pop into my mind, and it was probably one of the like biggest films of its day. It was like such a big deal. Apollo 13.
Never seen it.
What?
I could not tell you one thing about it. The space landing, I guess.
No, the space almost not landing. That's the thing.
Oh wait, is
Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks, I Kevin Bacon, Bill Paxton.
Kevin Bacon. Huh?
Yeah, you remember Apollo 13, producer? It was a big deal. The like way they shot it was crazy. Part of it was actually filmed at the Kennedy Space Center, so you can go see that.
Cool.
Ron Howard directed the attempted near disastrous 1970 landing. That's where we get Houston. We have a problem. I think they actually said that, but I think that's why it's a pop culture phrase. I
just don't care about space. I'm so sorry.
Who knows if it's even real?
Who loves space? Space and history.
If you think space isn't real, email us. If
you're a flat earther, we'd love to hear about it.
It's more of a globe denier, I think, is what they like to be called.
Oh, globe denier, not a flat earther. Mm-hmm. Is flat earther like derogatory?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
I'm so sorry, globe denier community. I almost said deserter.
Globe deserters. Yeah. Well, the Apollo 13, they did desert the globe, and then they tried to come back. Yeah.
It's my turn again already?
Yeah.
Ooh,
we are ping-ponging.
So this one kind of annoys me. Caddyshack.
Yes, I was so surprised by that.
Which I've never seen. What I don't like about it is that they filmed it in Florida, but they didn't want it to look like it was in Florida. They wanted it to have a Midwest vibe. Mm-hmm. But like, give Florida the respect it deserves, especially for golf courses.
It was shot at the Boca Raton Resort and Club.
That's not the golf course they used. The golf course they used was Davie because it had the fewest palm trees because they did not want the Florida vibes.
Right. But, like, don't come use our golf courses then.
Right. Yeah, but there was some shots in Boca and Key Biscayne, like a restaurant there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And the Rolling Hills Golf Club, it says.
Who knew?
Some of the golf scenes. Yeah, that's crazy. Can I say something provocative? I don't think that movie's funny.
I've never seen it. But, like, I think that comedy is very generational.
It is. It's same, like, that same era. What's that? Animal House. Not funny.
Yeah, agreed. Not for me. I also don't think the National Lampoon, like, the Christmas Vacations are that funny.
I don't like the Christmas one. It disturbs me when he cuts into the turkey and like deflates. That like makes my stomach turn.
And it's like a big joke that he like wants to like have
Murder
sex with
his
other
family.
women
Yes.
so badly.
Right.
And like, haha, like I hate my wife, can't wait to cheat on her. Like so hilarious. Like,
right. Thanks, feminist movement.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I also like I've watched like some present day comedies like Booksmart. I don't know if you've heard about this. It was like, directed by Olivia Wilde. Not funny at all. It's like for the Gen Zs. I'm like, wow. Like there's this very specific realm of comedy.
I also think sometimes there's like moments in time, so it's not just generational, but like certain things in the moment can be funny. Like we were just talking about Dane Cook. I don't remember why. He was in the news recently. Also for doing things that he shouldn't be doing. But when his comedy came out, I was like 20 something, like low baby 20s. And I thought it was some of the most hilarious stuff I had ever heard.
Me too. And I was like 12.
Right.
So.
Like screaming, laughing. And now it's like garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, your tastes changed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We've really evolved.
We like very highbrow humor.
We
now.
like cerebral.
Right.
You know? We're a little more cerebral.
Right.
Now.
Oh gosh. Anyway, let's see. I have some. There was something on here. Oh, this one. Speaking of funny movies, also, if my dad is still listening and he didn't tune me out when I said I wanted Rick Moranis to be my dad, The Birdcage.
Oh wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah. This is like
Where
one of those movies where I will laugh out loud every time.
I like him. What's his name?
Robin Williams and Nathan Lane?
Nathan Lane.
Oh my gosh.
I like Robin Williams too, obviously.
Yeah.
But I like Nathan Lane.
I mean, the comedy duo of the century. So it takes place in South Beach, like all over South Beach. And basically they're a older gay couple that have to try to pretend that they're not gay for their son because his son is marrying someone that her parents are politicians. And so they have to like put on this ruse. And it's funny. Really funny. And still not that, I mean, maybe only a little bit offensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend it highly.
I like a lot offensive personally, but I'm still interested.
I only like, I don't want to be like shocked.
I do want to be shocked. That's my kind of comedy. I like to be shocked. I'm like,
when's the last time you were shocked laughing in a movie or film?
In a film?
In a film or a TV show?
I don't. Nathan Fielder. The Rehearsal.
Oh my gosh. We can go on a little bit of a tangent. Megan has been forcing us to watch this show. What is it called?
The Rehearsal.
On HBO Max with Nathan Fielder, who is very funny.
He's so funny.
We watched episode 1. I didn't think it was that good.
It was the second episode better? Did
I
you
haven't
watch
seen it
it?
yet.
Oh, it's better. So Nathan Fielder is like a very like specific kind of like cringe comedy. It's not for everyone, that's for sure. He himself is very deadpan, and what makes
Very
him funny
awkward.
is how people like respond to him. Anyway, Nathan For You is a funny show on Comedy Central if you're interested, if you want like an introduction to Nathan Fielder. He went to one of Canada's top business schools with really good grades.
Canada?
It's like a joke. Anyway.
Oh. Does he say that or something? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Canadians pump out a lot of comedians.
I know. Jim
Yeah.
Carrey's from Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what that's about. But speaking of being shocked and being younger, this movie was all the buzz around my middle school. Middle school or high school? Can you remember, producer, the movie I'm talking about? Like, wow, it was shocking. Wild Things with Nev Campbell and Matt Dillon
From
and
what
Denise
I
Richards.
saw, it was Wild Things 2 that was in Florida.
No, this was set and shot largely in South Florida and considered one of the most notorious movies of the 90s.
Isn't Kevin Bacon in that too?
He is. Yeah. And that's why you can play 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. The producer actually went to a school where their teacher played an extra in the film. A sextra,
Yeah,
if you will.
Very erotic.
So the reason that this movie was so provocative.
Lesbians.
Well, that's right. There was a scene where, spoiler alert, Nev Campbell, Denise Richards, and Matt Dillon, it more like alludes to them
having a
hunching,
threesome?
right?
Okay.
But really, there's just like this quick kiss. But at the time, that was like the raunchiest thing you could have put in a movie.
I feel like I'm gonna get a ew from the producer on this, but I think Matt Dillon's kind of hot.
Ew!
I knew it. I knew I was gonna get an ew.
Ew! You like icky boys?
Maybe a little.
Yeah. Oh wow, Bill Murray's in that too. These guys just love being in Florida. That's crazy. Well, I've got a couple on here that I haven't seen, but that I think deserve honorable mentions. And then one more that I think is pretty famous.
I've got a lot more.
Yeah, tell me, give me a couple that you think are maybe worth
Jeepers
seeing.
Creepers. Have you guys seen?
It's a scary movie.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that with a scarecrow?
No.
What am I
It's like he's
thinking
like
of?
a beast and
Okay.
like a weird creature. Justin Long's in it, but it's in the.
I don't like Justin Long either.
I like him. It's in the Central Florida area that we talked about. It's in like Ocala and Dunellen.
I
Never even heard of it.
Ellen.
Dunellen? That sounds more right.
Yeah.
And it's like in the middle of nowhere, and it's actually
you've
a
said
great
enough.
setting.
Literally,
for a
I don't even
horror
want to
movie.
drive through there at night. It's so scary. There's not lights. There's no like elevation. Like it's so flat that it's like, what is out there? I don't know. What?
And it gets like dark,
Dark.
Yeah.
No lights anywhere.
Dark.
Yeah. Only cows and like those shacks with a lot of like swinging knives and chainsaws in them, and you don't know why.
And like meat hooks.
What?
I don't want to know more about it.
This just in, the producer said there's actually a witch that lives out there. Can you tell us more about that? Oh, she said we're gonna save it for the Halloween episode. That's a good idea. Send me a note so we don't forget. Can I know her name?
Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get them peepers? Jeepers
Is the song in the movie?
Where'd you get those?
And then you just hold up someone else's eyes that you plucked out of their head.
Yeah, that's his
He
part.
takes-
He takes eyes.
What? Wow, I
Yeah.
just guessed that. All right, we're gonna find the name of the lich. Is there anything else scary that was filmed here?
Jaws 2.
I did see that.
Navarre
Jaws 2.
Beach. It's in the Panhandle. I've never heard of it. That's where a lot of the beach scenes were.
I've got one. The Godfather 2, which I haven't seen any of the Godfathers.
Me neither.
But I've heard that people say the Godfather Part 2 is actually better than the Godfather Part 1.
We should watch them one day, but they're so long.
Remember we tried to, and then it just didn't work
they were
out.
too long.
Yeah, they were too long. By the time we actually got ready to start watching, yeah. But Rotten Tomatoes says The Godfather Part 1 is the best movie of all time.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, we gotta just do it.
I don't typically agree with Rotten Tomatoes, though. I'm more of an IMDb type of girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, Megan. Bring It On All or Nothing and Bring It On In It to Win It.
Oh, I only have In It to Win It on there.
no,
Oh, Nothing
both
too.
of them. Yeah,
So
those are your two
I used
favorite
to watch
films.
Bring It On like every time it came on the TV. Like when I used to watch like cable, when I was basic cable.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the fourth one, In It to Win It, was shot at Universal Studios, which I thought was really interesting.
Cool. Yeah. Because that's a fun fact that we're going to talk about a little bit later. But Universal Studios Orlando and what was once called Disney's MGM Studios, now Hollywood Studios, actually had backlots where they filmed TV shows and movies and stuff.
Right, that's crazy to me. Like to me, I thought that was just their vibe, but no, like, they
No, it was a
literally did
thing.
that.
They don't do it anymore, though. I wish they would bring it back. But a lot of the, what do you call it? If you go to like Halloween Horror Nights and you go through a lot of those houses, they're actually on some of those big backlot stages that you would never see otherwise. So that's pretty cool.
I've got four more.
Go ahead, tell me them.
Just do them, all of them, four of them.
Well, do a couple. And then I'll do a
My
couple.
Girl. Did you know that?
Oh,
My
yeah,
Girl.
with Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, it was in Barrow and Sanford.
Huh.
Barrow? I don't know. Never heard of it.
Interesting. I've
But
got
bees. Florida does have bees.
Florida does have
That
bees.
makes sense
We
to
have a
me.
lot of good honey. I love Florida honeys.
We do have good honey.
Yeah, but if you're allergic, but they leave you alone.
They do.
Yeah.
I've never been with. Actually, that's a lie. You guys remember?
What?
At Discovery Cove.
You got stung.
I was
But
just
it could have been a
snorkeling.
wasp.
I was
How do we don't know it was a bee?
It was a bee because the
It was a
stinger was
bee?
still in my ear.
Oh,
And that's like what they do.
yeah.
And I was just
But they took
snorkeling.
very good care of us there
They did.
at the first aid station.
We've probably talked about Discovery Cove, but very underrated as far as parks in Florida, but it's not really a theme park. It's more of a resort.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We keep trying to go out there, but the timing just doesn't work. Because you want it to be hot, but you don't really want it to be rainy season. So it's like, there's like really 1 month that's optimal, which I think would be October.
That's what I'm going to Food and Wine, baby.
I can't wait to hear all about it. But here's this movie that I haven't seen, but is pretty infamous. The Jackery's kicking in. True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, I've never seen it either.
And what's
Jamie
her
Lee
name?
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. So there's this famous scene where it's shot on 7 Mile Bridge, and they blow up the bridge, but it's a miniature bridge.
Oh,
that's back in the day when they did, a lot of miniature stuff. But yeah, it made 7 Mile Bridge famous for people that had never been down to the Keys.
Wow, I had no idea. I need to watch that movie.
I know.
I've heard great
Something
things
about like a helicopter. There's actually, a friend of ours, Chris Malone.
Yeah.
His dad makes movie sets, and he made some of the sets for that film.
Cool.
Yeah.
No wonder he's like such a carpenter, maker of things.
Our little beaver.
Spring Breakers. Have you heard of it?
No.
I've never seen it, but it's got a big cast. Selena Gomez, someone else that's relevant, and James Franco. And it's set in St. Pete. And it's about like some girls on spring break that get involved with some bad stuff. Never seen it again, but that's the premise from what I understand. And so of course a spring break film.
Yeah, spring break
set in Florida.
Spring break. Wait, what? There it is. I've got a couple honorable mentions for ones that I think are good films that you could see. Marley and Me made me cry. Shot in Florida. Too Fast, Too Furious. My favorite of the Fast franchise. And then Bad Boys 2, Martin Lawrence. And what's his name? Will Smith, but when he was still cool. What?
Never seen it.
You ever seen it?
No,
Oh,
neither.
Bad Boys 2 is really good. Really good.
Huh.
Bad Boys for
Where
Life.
in Florida?
Miami. Where else?
Okay. Well, there's a big one else that we missed. Also, Jim Carrey. We've talked about it before.
Oh, yeah. The Truman Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. What town was it?
Seaside.
That's right. Where everything's white.
Which was like a
creepy.
planned community. So
Yeah.
naturally it looks very, manufactured, I guess. Is that the right word?
Yeah. That's a good movie.
It is.
Creepy.
Yeah. It is
It
a
would
good
probably
movie.
be worth going back and watching because now reality is so much more of a thing than it was then. Reality TV. You watch people.
Ah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I thought you meant
our reality.
This is a simulation.
Oh, right.
Elon Musk type of deal. I have another one.
Okay, yeah.
Do you have any more?
No, that's it.
I have The
Yeah.
Water Boy with Adam
What?
Sandler.
Is that Bobby Boucher?
Maybe.
It was shot in Florida?
Yeah, Central
Really?
Florida, Orlando
Wow.
area. It takes place it's set
In Louisiana.
quotes in Louisiana.
Right,
Yes,
yeah.
but it was actually shot in Florida.
I'm going to say something else. I don't think Adam Sandler's funny.
I thought he was funny then. I thought
I'm just
Billy
really laying
Madison
it all
was
out there.
hilarious
But it's
when
not.
I was young.
Oh,
No, he's welcome
we
on the
have
show.
not reached out to Adam
about
Sandler.
Uncut Gems?
Uncut Gems was really good. But I think, what's her name?
Julia Fox.
Julia Fox carried the whole film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a little.
Yeah.
I don't like to speak of things before they're finished.
But this might be our best episode
But
ever.
yeah, this episode's a masterpiece.
Nice. Well, if you're not inspired to watch a movie, I don't know what it's going to take, but we're going to take a quick break. And then we're going to tell you the producer's favorite Florida film. And then some things we're going to do next. I don't know. Okay, bye.
Can I just say that our music,
Yeah, it's such a vibe.
it makes me want to be kelp drifting in the ocean. I
Okay.
don't know why. I'm just ooh, I just want to
Not
rock
deep in the ocean,
back and
just
forth.
close
Right.
enough that I could walk back up and
Or
get a
just
drink and then go back
the
out.
seaweed that you would pick up off the shoreline.
So there's shrimps running in your body?
yeah, and I'm just
Okay.
coasting with the waves.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's how I feel.
It's floaty.
That's
So our last film that we want to shout out is the producer's favorite movie. So we wanted to make sure that everyone knows that you should watch it immediately. Stop what you're doing and watch this unusual 80s film. 80s? 90s. And today.
Tell
Remember when
me,
they would say that? The Flight of the Navigator?
what is that?
So it's so I just saw it under duress. It's about a young boy and his family, and he goes missing. Right? And turns out he was with, well, it's a lot of it's implied. I don't know. It's it's alien-y. It's a science fiction film for kids. There's a cool little creature in it.
Wait,
What?
have I seen this?
This just in. Has Megan seen this? It's kind of like existential, I guess. What part of Florida?
No, I haven't.
Fort Lauderdale.
The alien's a cool looking alien. A little.
Yeah, but it's like they take him to another world, and there's this spaceship. It's pretty cool. The special effects are what you would expect them to be, but conceptually, very interesting film.
I really like practical effects.
Oh yeah,
there's something like
yeah,
really.
They're,
great
I think
about
they're realizing that we like that, and they're bringing it back.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like I think about that. I've talked about this before, but my God, the animatronic in the Navi River ride.
Which I haven't been on. Navi River Journey in Pandora and Animal Kingdom.
It's insane. It's like a shock to see it.
The shaman.
Know? There's something so much better about something tangible than CGI.
I agree. And like we're in front of screens enough. Like I want the realer the better. Yeah. Did you see the new Jurassic Park?
I did.
Was it good?
I liked it.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Huge fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah.
Mixed reviews on it, but I mean, I liked it. People thought that it was like about the people too much, like not enough about the dinosaurs, but that doesn't bother me. They can only do so much with the dinosaurs. Like, do you want them to invent a new dinosaur every time? Like, that gets like boring. Gets old. You know what I mean?
And I feel like Jurassic Park is one of those franchises that I'll just watch if they make one. I'll watch it.
It's fun. I mean, it's none of the Jurassic Park movies are like the most amazing plot and writing that you've ever seen. They're fun action films, right? And it's definitely that.
Yeah, just go ahead.
And I loved seeing, the OGs again.
Mm-hmm. And then we talked about the backlots at Universal and MGM Studios. Did you ever go on the backlot tour?
No.
At MGM Studios? That was pretty amazing. They would take you around the backlot, like on a tram, and you could go through movie sets. There were some pretty memorable ones. Like they had the like airplane from, what was that movie? With Tom Hanks?
The airplane from Airplane?
Not Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise? I don't know. There was like an airplane.
Top Gun?
No, I don't know. And then the Golden Girls TV set was there. And then my favorite part was at the end, they took the tram through what was called Catastrophe Canyon. And it was like you were in a movie. And there was a catastrophe, cool. And it was really good. Yeah, so, R.I.P.
When I was little and I was very scared of scary movies, my sister used to tell me, like, just imagine, like, lights, camera, action. Like, just imagine them filming it. I bet that tour would have, like, helped.
Yeah, that would have been. That's good. So any final thoughts on our Blockbuster night?
I hope someone, after listening to this episode, puts on a pot of popcorn. Like a Jiffy Pop.
Yeah, go old school, right? Yeah. Have like a totally old school night. Like, don't use a microwave. Right. Actually use the stove.
Really
for your
make
popcorn.
it an event. Maybe watch a Poltergeist, like some really like old
it has to be a Florida movie. Well, it has to be one of the ones we mentioned.
Watch Jaws 2. I don't know.
Watch Bring It On All or Nothing.
Yeah, definitely watch one of the Bring It On.
Watch Ace Ventura. Watch Ace Ventura.
Yes, agreed.
I want to watch it right now. Can we go watch it right now?
I am in.
All right, 100%.
Let's go. We have to go get.
I have popcorn.
Stovetop though.
I'll put it right on the stove.
All right.
All right, we got to go put popcorn on the stove. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Just a Podcast. I almost said Popcorn in Paradise. We are so happy that you took time out of your day to hang with us. We would love it if you would subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and be sure to leave us a 5-star review if you enjoyed your time with us tonight. If you're looking for a way to show us some love and copies of every week's cocktail recipe, check out our Patreon so we can continue to work hard to make your next Florida vacation the most memorable trip that you've ever had. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Just Take a Dip for daily updates on what's happening around Florida, and check out our YouTube channel, Just a Day in Paradise, for destination ideas, restaurant reviews, unboxing things you might want to take on your next trip, and copycat recipes from some of our favorite places in Paradise. We're wishing you a little bit of sunshine wherever you are, and we hope to see you in Paradise soon. Say goodbye, Megan.
Bye. I'm just over here like being.
What did he say?